welcome my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Timeless Path of True Love read. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing with Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace. From a Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box. The Archangel of Lyons, Angelo, Lyons. But you can call me Mal, and my older brother, I have two older brothers, one of them's a Scorpio, so I survived y'all. So happy to serve. Anyway, if you are new to the channel, A Path of True Love read is about your hero's journey, your healing journey, your spiritual path, whatever you want to call it, through the lenses of your relationships, becoming the true love that you already are. But for all that stuff, covering it up on the inside, long story short. There is a link in the description box, a preface to the Timeless True Love reads that goes into much more explanation, as well as many, many, many other videos in the description box, talking about not just the path of true love, but soul contracts, twin flames, soulmates, and all that jazz. All right, we're doing a basic Celtic Cross with some other stuff thrown in. It is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You're an intuitive sign, feel it out. It's not going to be this exactly precise for every single person, but check your other signs, particularly because your moon sign is going to just get different energy than your sun, your rising, and particularly your Venus. I guess that's about it. Except to say, both feet on the floor if you can, right? Be here now. Focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can through from the divine, through all this, through YouTube, to you in a general read. And of course, all the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box with links if you want to go check them out. Give credit where credit is due. That's about it. I'm done explaining. Breathe. Waiting to inhale. Here we go. It's been a busy morning as I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of the path of true love, the higher selves of all involved, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above, as well as the spirit animals and totems for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. I need two Carolyn Mace archetype cards to represent the eighth chakra dynamics, the soul powers being alchemized, strengthened, developed, shadow to light, led to goal, pain to peace. The alchemy being done here for the Scorpio collective. Give me party number one. This could be the Scorpio. Party number two might be the Scorpio in a general read as well. We'll take that down for card number one. Who's crossing the path then in this timeless true love read? Oh my. Oh my, we've got an orphan child and a seeker archetype here, and these two could actually have a lot of fun together. Now, this is going to be the harder one to explain because it's a child archetype, one of the four survival family of archetypes: the child, the victim, victor, the saboteur, empowerer, and the prostitute archetype. Prostitute has very little to do with sex, unless it does. So everybody has those four. Everybody has the child archetype. Not everybody has the orphan child archetype. I do, although I am not a literal orphan. That's why people, if you only do archetypes through the mind, you can miss a lot of your own stuff there. The shadow to light is what you are dealing with on the path of true love. If this is the Scorpio, you could be there as well. You could relate to both. Archetypes are often shared. Okay, I hear that. The child archetype, regardless of sub-pattern, is the guardian of the power of safety and innocence, right? Because if the child feels safe, fresh new eyes, new beginnings, sees everything, is up for everything. But if the child doesn't feel safe, it feels afraid, it's not up for anything. So let's talk about this. All of our major mythical heroes tend to be orphans. Maybe not all, most. The shadow attribute, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Hello. Theater, anybody? The light attribute, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering the fear of surviving. Come on, Harry Potter, Dorothy Gale, Kal-El of Krypton, Bruce Wayne, although I guess if you're a billionaire, that makes surviving a little bit easier. But survival's not all about the physical. It's emotional survival, mental survival, spiritual survival. So, you know, it is a tricky thing. Any of the child archetype in the shadow, there's a feeling of loneliness and of abandonment. I'm in this all by myself. And yet, the orphan doesn't really need tribal approval. Like, I didn't check if it was okay for me to be a witch or gay with my family. I was just like, yeah, let's take out like a sore thumb. Much? Yeah. Crossing the path here, although this could be the Scorpio as well as the Seeker archetype, a wisdom family archetype, the Shadow, inability to commit to a path once found, the path of true love. Oh, that never happens, except always. The light attribute, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are, which is a very, very different thing. It is an ongoing journey, right? The Seeker. But I will say, in the Shadow, this can be really problematic. This doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, by the way. That's in the preface video. But whatever this is you do the healing you need to do. It affects every other relationship in your life. Because an orphan child with somebody who has an inability to commit once something has been found, triggered, right? Easy trigger there. So now we're going to build our Celtic Cross on top of that with two different decks. Daughters of the Moon for the next 4 chakras down. Crown, third eye, throat, and heart chakra. And then we're going to get the Mythic Tarot for the lower 3 chakras. Sacrum, solar plexus, sacrum, and root. Breathe. Yeah, this is a throwdown. I can feel it. Okay, my goddesses of water, the sign of Scorpio, powers of the West, please. 10 cards, one at a time. Celtic Cross. What's going on for the Scorpios here on their timeless path of true love? We got a child, orphan child archetype here. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. The learner, the 8 of Pentacles. Love it, right? Because then an orphan child who is learning on the hero's journey of the path of true love is a willingness and a wisdom already there. It's not a 2 of Pentacles. It's an 8 of Pentacles. There is wisdom within this person, hard won, I bet you anything. Because, you know, if you're not, as hard as the orphan child is in the Shadow, like, that's why I'm an eclectic witch. I'm not tribal, right? Like, I can study anything I want, and it's part of my wisdom path. Digging it. See, that's why these two together could do a lot of cool stuff, right? With the Seeker here, this could be the Scorpio as well. What's going on there? Heart, throat, third eye, crown. The High Priestess, much? Wow. Isis, this person very much, okay, maybe being a little silent, maybe being a little quiet about things, definitely has secret knowledge going on here. I mean, either one of these can be the Scorpio. Both can have Scorpio placement here. Cross watchers always welcome on my channel, by the way. But what is a priest or a priestess but a channel through which the divine flows, right? Works through, most of the time without them being aware of it, right? It's a secret unto them as well. But this is definitely third eye and crown chakra. The satellite dish opened the crown chakra, but the third eye, the receiver, right? Being able to really receive it and translate it. I like this. I like this. This feels good. All right, third position, the root. What's the subconscious stuff going on here? The stuff beneath the surface that, well, someone with the High Priestess might certainly be aware of. Hey, I know the energy's high, but stay in my hand. What's going on in the root? Victory, 7 of Flames. Galloping on horseback in the same direction as the lava under the crust of the planet, moving in the same direction. This is going with the flow. This is momentum. This is a shared desire for victory. Now, victory at any cost is one thing, but this feels good. This could easily be a friend relationship as well. I mean, not all Path of True Love reads are all twin, flamey, turbulent, you know, but transformative. Let's see, where is this coming from? What's behind them? What's in there behind the Scorpios? Strength. Strength leading to the High Priestess here is an interesting thing, but also strength coming into that place of the learner. Whoever is watching this, you had to open your heart and be brave. I actually do a class on Facebook, the Drawing Circle Facebook page, Path to True Love. I do classes about these. Depending on when you watch this, courage is one of the topics that we teach. I mean, as a whole 2-hour thing there, like the French word the cœur, for the heart, the cœur, which means you had to grow up, you had to be brave, you had to be strong. Heart chakra definitely there inside, and I think both of you, the orphan child and the seeker, have really benefited from that. You know, no matter who you are in this, it's just the seeker might not be all that verbal about it. Let's see, what's crowning this? What hovers and is going to come eventually? The Pisces card. When you get a court card in this spread, it's heart, throat, third eye, crown. So if you have Pisces placement, something to look at, right? Whatever planet is going on there, even if it's an outer thing, outer planet, generational. Have a look-see-duck-see at that, because this is about an emotional fluidity, a mutable water, right? Not moody, but can be very opposite ends, right? So dolphin and shark, guppy and barracuda, but also extremely emotional and intuitive. Pisces is 12th house dynamic, the collective unconscious, right? Not just empathy, social empathy, vibrational empathy, emotional empathy. I hate the word psychic, but psychic empathy. Psychic. It means of the soul. And certainly a soul connection being felt here. Although not always rational, not always clear. That's why we're going to throw 10 more cards down on top of these. But let's go. What is before them on the path of true love, just around the bend? The Scorpio card. So by the way, here we've got, like I said, the Maiden of Cups, the Pisces card. This is the Knight of Cups, mutable water. This is Hecate, the Scorpio card, the Queen of Cups, which would be, well, the Crone of Cups in this deck would be the Queen of Cups in the traditional tarot, how I read. So, look, there's a lot of emotion on the table here, obviously. Is it a predominance of water? Yeah, we only got 6 cards on the table. There's some earth in here, there's some fire, but those 2 major arcana cards, strength and the High Priestess, this seeker, particularly because it's the High Priestess in Scorpio, you're not known for necessarily talking about how you feel, depending on maybe what your rising sign might be. Something very transformative going on here, and that's Path to True Love for you. Let's see, what's the lesson here from Heart, Throat, Third Eye, Crown lesson for the Scorpio watching this? No, no, no. Please leave the card in my hand. Heart, Throat, Third Eye, Crown. The card of the universe, the card of the world, Shakti, the life dancer. And I would highly recommend doing an internet search on Shakti energy, the goddess herself, if you like, but it's not every Hindu god or goddess has a type of energy associated with them. The Shakti vibe, it's just a word that's used a lot. It is Sanskrit, and the card of the world is saying you're at the end of a cycle here. Now, with that 9 of Pentacles there for the orphan child, that could be a really good thing. Remember, we have this underlying current of victory and moving forward here. And whether that's in terms of personal growth, love of self, the emotional part of this is obvious. So there may be some wrapping up going on here. The word graduation comes to mind, particularly if we're dealing with an orphan child. You graduate to the next stage. I mean, that never stops, regardless of your age. But also for a seeker, you know what I'm saying? It's like they might be like, oh, I've got it. I'm done with this. Maybe this level of it. From the outside vibing in, how does the world feel this? Ace of Flames, Ace of Wands, impetus, an inspiration, a creation, a new desire. Now, honestly, to go from the lesson of this, right, the full circle to the bang, starting a new cycle of fire here, this could be a new beginning, a new spark. The key word, creation, right? Like, woo, ooh, I want that seed of fire. The will, the heart's desire. What is their hopes and fears? How do they alchemize their destiny out of their fate on the hero's journey aspect of all of this? The Amazon, I think, very much matching with the horse energy here. The Amazon is the card of the Chariot here. The bringing together, the unifying of the light horse and the dark horse, inspiration and motivation. It is a Cancerian card. She's even carrying a crescent moon shield here. This is my Wonder Woman card. By the way, someone got me for this once. It's Wonder Woman and the Chariot. I was like, oh my god. I love a whole deck like that. Yeah, but I don't need DC Comics coming for me. It's like, but make a Wonder Woman tarot, that would be wonderful. Just all the Amazons of Themyscira would be great on that. You know, Hippolyta's got to be the Empress. Anyway, but this is, again, an emotional moving forward here. I think there's a lot of internal evolution going on here, but with the Scorpio, who knows what's going on the outside? Come on, be real. You know, you guys don't let on, though you feel everything. My goddesses, what is their most probable outcome, the timeline of this lifetime for this timeless true love read? Five of Pentacles, don't freak, it's not so bad. This is maybe not so much feeling ghosted or left out in the cold, not when the card is called Earthquake, a change. Fives are numbers of change numerologically. This is being shook. Not always a bad thing. There are no positive or negative cards in the tarot. Archetypes are neutral. It's a sliding scale of shadow to light. You know what I'm saying. Toxic to healthy, lead to gold. I mean, with all this movement here and the overall vibe I'm feeling, I'm a Pisces moon, I'm an intuitive reader as well, not just a tarotologist, there is really a feeling of the earth moves under your feet. We'll see if the sky comes a-tumbling down, Mythic Tarot. Yeah, I got my eye. See, because it's that Scorpio energy here. Both in sort of outcome positions. The sixth position, your future, right? It's right around the river bend, so to speak. And this, in the 10th position, your outcome, the earthquake, they're similar. At least inside. Let's see what this looks like on the outside. Breathe. Oh yeah, that's a different vibe. I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Scorpio and powers of the West, please. 10 cards, Celtic Cross, lower 3 chakras. From the outside looking in at the Scorpio looking from the inside out at something in the physical, but something that has to do with the lower 3 chakras, root chakra, tribal relationship groups, second chakra, one-on-one relationships, creativity, sexuality, finances, which is what we're looking at here between two people in a soul contract, but also their own solar plexus relationships with themselves, their self-esteem, their self-identification, their boundaries, what they will, what they won't, what they do, what they don't. Looking at this child, orphan archetype here with the learner, 8 of Pentacles on the inner. What's that? What's going on there? Lower chakra dynamic, please. The Hermit. Okay. We've now got the Hermit and the High Priestess, so either one of these people can obviously be the Scorpio. Might be 2 Scorpios here, you know, one could be Sun, one could be Moon, whatever. But there is introspection going on here. I love seeing the Hermit with the learner on the inside. They're like, I'll be back maybe. Up on top of the mountain, thank you very much. And we'll point out in the Mythic Tarot, this is the god Kronos, Saturn. Kronos is where we get the word chronology, time. So there is time going on here. It feels like we have an orphan child archetype maturing, finding their own wisdom. You've already learned so much. Just, it can be a martyr trip to say, look at how much you've survived. But if you survived it, because the soul is immortal, you're not really human. We're not your body. We're not our bodies. It's a whole other conversation, right? But this is a major arcana card. This is like really saying, all right, I have this wisdom. I've learned a lot. A lot of growth has happened here. I'm liking that. All right, my gods. The Seeker with the High Priestess, Isis, on the inner, crossing the path here. What's going on there? Lower 3 chakras. 3 of Pentacles. I like that. A willingness to collaborate. A solid foundation. This could easily be a friendship, right? But it's still at that place of, do we want to keep doing this? Right? You always see it. It's like one artisan standing up on a table and the other people going, I don't know, do we want it all the way around the cathedral? It's sort of similar here. But also because they are sort of exchanging the 3 pentacles there is more of that sense of collaboration, of coming together to make things work. Let's see what that's about. That 7 of Flames, I think, is going to really help you deal with that earthquake if it's not so fun. So what's going on at the core here? 7 of Flames, Victory, 7 of Wands. Yes, it can be a defensive card, but it's not how it's feeling. It's got that gallop feel to it, please. Lower 3 chakras, the Moon. This is galloping in the fog, right in the outside looking in. There's a lot of emotion going on here. I wouldn't necessarily say it's galloping blind, but things are occluded. You're gonna have, that's why there's so much water on the table, both the Pisces and the Scorpio cards there in the court cards. You're gonna have to both navigate this very emotionally. But remember, intuition and emotion are not always the same thing, because you can have a feeling and an emotion. You can have an emotion about a feeling. It's like, oh no, I feel it, I don't want to feel it, right? So something is an alarm going off and you have an emotion about it, right? As well as you can have an emotion, a feeling about an emotion. You can go, why am I feeling this way? This feels off. Why am I, so it goes both ways. Tricky, but there is victory. The thing about the card of the Moon is it's a card of mystery, and Scorpio is one of the mystical signs. Not that any sign has copyright on mysticism. Every sign has the potentiality for an intimate connection with the divine. But certainly, in terms of the hidden mysteries, in terms of the mysteries, mysticism, this is a mystical path. Path of true love is a mystical path that I think everybody's on, but not everybody wants to look at it, right? So you can kind of keep it in the shadow here. Definitely some emotional navigation going on here. But remember, you're coming from that strength card in the past here. There's great courage. Like, that's the thing about an orphan archetype. If they're like, screw y'all, you guys, I'm going home, right? Like, I'm gonna do it my way, fine. If I'm in this all on my own, I'm gonna do this. It takes immense courage to do that. Taking some time there for themselves too, that introspection. Again, if this is the orphan child, if it's the seeker here, then there's really a nice solid thing here in this relationship. What does this look like from the outside looking in? 2 of Wands, indecision. It's my indecision card. It's a crossroads. It's Jason of Jason and the Argonauts deciding really whether to go into the cave to Chiron, the wounded healer, the Centaur, the Centaur, to take the quest up of the Golden Fleece, Jason and the Argonauts, or just like, nah, I'm going to go to the Agora, because I ain't phobic. Yeah, so there has been that. That would make sense. The orphan child, I'm in hermit mode, in up the mountain, in the cave, deeper in and higher up. And with the seeker, I mean, really, it feels either one of you could easily be the Scorpio here. You both need time. You both need time. I would say with the Hermit, the High Priestess, and the Moon, just in the first 3, there's no communication going on here. And if there is, you're feeling each other like crazy. Probably an empathic bond here. what's going on there in that Pisces card, just to make it more emotionally cloudy and confusing, surfing those tides from the outside looking in. What's crowning this baby? Good. Four of Swords, rest, prayer, meditation, internal focus for both of you. Really witness your feelings. It doesn't mean don't feel them. Just remember, Scorpios and really anybody, we are not our emotions. They are element of water. They pass through us. And that's why when we give ourselves the love that only we can give ourselves, which often means feeling what we're feeling without burning down the house, right? Without doing any harm, without sending that text, hard to do, right? For a child archetype, perhaps very hard to do. But to take that time of rest, that introspection, and it's a 4, you'll move through it. That's the point of the minor arcana. You just keep moving forward through the suit. Then we got that Scorpio card here, Hecate, also speaking of a crossroads, right? So you got that 2 of Wands. It feels like you're going to come to this crossroads inside of yourself. What's going on there? Lower 3 chakras. 2 of Cups. Now it's romantic. It's romantic. Come on, it's Cupid, it's Eros and Psyche, how they met. how I met your mother. Chained to a rock, pricked myself on one of my golden arrows, fell in love, married her, but wasn't allowed to see my face. It's a good myth. It's a good myth. Trip to the underworld for some beauty cream. Now we have CVS. Isn't that lovely? So yeah, this is, you are making a decision. You are feeling the attraction. The force is strong with these two, but no one's talking about it. I think the seeker, it is that thing of like, all right, I want to know the truth, but I have this temptation to keep moving on. That's why I'm keeping it to myself. It could very much be that. The 3 of Pentacles can be walked away from. It's an initial foundation. Will it be built upon? That would be really triggering, I would think, for an orphan child. But I know with that 2 of Cups on the outer and the Scorpio on the inner, there is deep feeling here. And it's mutual. I really, really get it's mutual. All right, end of a cycle here for the Scorpio. I'm telling you, they keep flashing the word in my third eye, which means look it up. Shakti. Shakti Gawain was my first New Age book back in 1980. What crosses Shakti, the life dancer there? What's their lesson? Outside looking in. The star. The star, got to follow your guidance, your grace. I don't think you're getting a lot horizontally. I mean, this reading may be helpful, but you may not understand it until later. That's why we have save to watch later. There is inspiration, there is guidance, there is grace. There's nothing wrong with your dream of what you want here, but you are at the end of a cycle, a form of graduation. And with that card of victory, with the card of the moon on it, just subconsciously, you may not see it. We often don't until time has gone by. And then we look over our shoulders, which is sort of what's going on here with this orphan child, right? The hermit, the learner, look back and go, oh, I didn't even realize, because we don't see it, because we're in the game. We don't see the game so much. The game of the evolution of the soul. The game of the divine being human. From the outside vibing in, here, Ace, there's their new beginning. There's the ignition. There's that passion. It's very 3rd chakra. But how will it externalize? What does this look like, lower 3 chakras? Please, my gods. Woo-woo. 3 of Wands. I love it. You go from the 2 of Wands to the 3 of Wands. This will come. This really is a solid foundation, a loyalty, someone really making not just the decision or the choice of the 2, but saying, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. 2 3s, digging it. And both element of fire. I would say that the chemistry is strong here, for sure. The passion's there. But with a seeker, this can be, hey, let's see how this goes. And that's why for the orphan child, that might be a little triggery. Right? All right, we'll see where it goes. But if they've really seen how much they've survived, they'll know that this is happening for them. right? To learn and grow and heal. And honestly, if this is your lesson, to graduate and follow your star, so to speak, it's really good. All right, they achieved their destiny here with that Amazon, the Chariot, balancing inspiration, motivation. Oh, I'd really love to, and I gotta get that done too. Right? In this, to plow through the emotional part of this. What's going on here? Outside looking in, please. Double whammy, Ace of Flames, right? The Ace of Wands. Zeus with the Golden Fleece, kicking off the quest for Jason and the Argonauts. So, literally, someone's gonna bust a move here. Again, the Scorpio could be the child archetype, the seeker archetype, both of those. And it's gonna happen fast. Your destiny is going to take on, it's gonna go from this internal graduation to this external initiation. Well, and then wouldn't the earthquake make sense? Please, my gods, what does this Five of Pentacles on the inner look like on the outer? Because it just means a quick change, right? A fast change. Earthquakes take centuries to build up. They're done in 10 seconds and everything's different. So most probable outcome, this timeline of this lifetime for the Scorpio collective, that's 2. Leave 1 in my hands. Earthquake on the inner. What's going on the outer? 4 of Cups. Now, 4 of Cups is a bit of a meh card, but also, all right, there can be some dissatisfaction that comes from talking about this with other people. 4 of Cups here, like I said, the suit of cups in the Mythic Tarot is Eros and Psyche. Well, this is Psyche's sisters coming to visit her in her palace that Eros created for her, though she has never seen his face. She's like, well, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know that he is who he says he is? It could be a monster that you're sleeping with every night, right? That kind of meh. Now, on the emotional scale, I never feel like the 4 of Cups is ever like traumatic. That can very much be the 5 of Cups, although it depends on the art and the deck. All 4 cups are standing here. There's not one hovering in the air. Things are changing. It might be for, again, whoever's watching this, the orphan child, through this interior learning, right? Getting the learner. It's like, I have learned so much and I'm learning so much. I'm taking time for myself. There may be a real shift inside of you in terms of that wisdom, a real change inside that makes you a little dissatisfied with the way things are. Now, that's okay. It's all minor arcana. You can move through it. Free will. Will you? Up to you. But there's so much victory and so much new beginning and so much stable foundations here, it would make sense that there would need to be an evaluation. But because it's 4 of Cups, it's an overall sense of, is that all there is? Is that all there is? Is that all there is? And I have to say, with the other cards on the table, that's something that needs to shift within both of you, to understand that there is something fertile and stable and wonderful here, and a victory that you can't see. Give it time. We're not done. That's just tarot. Well, we've got 4 more cards to hit the table here. Whispers of Love Oracle, the higher selves of all involved. Please take a nice deep breath. It's like, I can understand Scorpios not wanting everybody to know what they're feeling on the inside, but there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to be really emotionally authentic, but I would say timing is a part of it for sure. Breathe. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whispers of love in this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Timeless path of true love. Read 1 for the orphan child. I'll take that. Learner on the inner, Hermit on the outer. And 1 for the seeker, High Priestess on the inner, 3 of Pentacles on the outer. I love it. Okay, so for the orphan child, learner, Eight of Pentacles on the inner, Hermit on the outer, get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. And I feel like the internal work that this child is doing, what they have learned, they've learned a lot, right? It literally learning to meet another's need. It can also be learning about their own needs, right, as they grow and evolve. Liking that a lot. For the seeker, with the High Priestess on the inner and Three of Pentacles on the outer, love endures. Love does not give up hope or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. With the lesson in the star here, I'm going to say that it is about having faith. That this is going to do what it's going to do. It's for the evolution of the soul, not everybody getting what they want all the time. Relationships are tricky. Again, with that Two of Cups, that is the only thing that is wickedly screaming romantic sexual here. This may not be that for everybody. I could also see this in a family situation, in a friend situation, in a work situation. But there is love here. There is no question love is here. And there is a hidden potential for victory that I don't think either one of you can see this way, but you could feel in here. Now, the Divine Animals Oracle. Let's see what the totemic spirit animal vibe is for you on this. Please take a nice deep breath. One more. As I call upon the spirit animals and totems for the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the Divine Animal Oracle? Divine Animal Oracle, Stacy DeMarco, who flies with them, who walks with them, who crawls with them, who swims with the Scorpio collective in this child seeker archetypal contract on the path of true love. The beaver. Oh no. That is such an old joke in my family. I'm not going there. Work! Beaver better work is the key word. You better work. Damn it. Sorry. Moon's in Leo when I'm doing this. I gotta have fun. I'm a Leo, right? You try doing this every day. At my age, I'm 53. I know I don't look at things. The beaver. Getting flashbacks. Work is your keyword, card number 27. To love your work is a gift. Find a balance between work and rest. It is worth aligning your work with your purpose if you can. Being positively, mindfully engaged in your work, no matter what it might be, is healthy. Someone may be attempting to micromanage you at your job, and this is not an optimum way to work. Perhaps it's time to be your own boss. See what I said? This could very easily be a work situation, but I think it also speaks to the element of earth and the element of water. Beavers build dams and rivers and stuff. I'm not an animal science teacher, okay? I'm son of a nursery school teacher and a witch. But there is that element of the physical boundary of the dam and all the emotion behind it. So there's some emotional work here. The magic, the last part of this I'll read. When you find it hard to motivate yourself, or when things are not working out with your career or work situation, beaver energy can help. When you need help finishing a physical project or attracting good craftspeople, call upon beaver magic to assist. Sorry, just totally having 1980s flashbacks. There is work to be done here, and I will say, Three of Pentacles can also talk about a workplace relationship here. But the dynamic here, there is love here. Get to know each other. Now, I will say, if this is a potential friendship in a work thing, I could see that too. This Two of Cups, then not necessarily talking immediately about romance. But with the amount of water on the table here, there's no question that you're feeling something here, and I think you're both feeling it. It's just nobody's talking about it. Hence, I think the two of you could really think an orphan child and a seeker. Let's see the world, right? I'm free, says the orphan. Let's go, says the seeker. There's a lot of victory in place here, but there's also that Four Cups. Things are going to change on the inner, and then the outer, it's just a chapter. It's not a forever after, right? It's not the last card is not a forever after. It is just where things are at the end of this chapter, this scene in the movie. Last card down. I know, these are some of the longest readings I do. But that's why I don't do them every week. Burnt crispy. Healing Mantra deck by Matt Consess, the Ascended Masters. Doesn't matter which one you are here, work the mantra. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, Ascended Masters, you threw down a very emotional, a very complex read here on the path of true love with the gods and the goddesses and the collective pantheons. Here, a lot of work involved here in so many ways. I get that with the beaver. So what is the perfect healing mantra for the Scorpio collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading or cross-watching. The perfect healing mantra in this orphan child and seeker contract on the timeless path of true love. Is that just one card? Yes, it is. Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in the way. That makes sense. Because you know what's missing here? Just looking at the table, there's only one air card. All right, let me just double check. Scanning. Now, there's only one air card, the Four of Swords, hovering, crowning. This is internal examination. I think this makes sense. Let me read you really quickly from Deconstructing Doubt. Where are you? Deconstructing Doubt. Only my beliefs are in the way. Oh, sorry, only my beliefs are in my way. As you deconstruct doubt, you are no longer lost in the concerns and curiosities of what if. There is some what ifing going on here on the table, but are more rooted in the truth of what is. When doubt is deconstructed, hardship is no longer a sign of misfortune. Well, and I think that there's some hardship going on here just in the outcome. Now, the 6th position and the 10th position, sometimes they're fate. You can't change them, but you can prepare yourself or go down a different timeline. Right? It is an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone and meet the higher aspects of your soul that exist just beyond the boundaries of the self. That does make sense with the Hermit, right? With that learner. This feels like the perfect mantra for the orphan child and a seeker. This mantra is ideal for aligning with truth. And what was that again? Thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Being more self-actualized, which is not so much waiting on stuff, but self-actualizing. And transforming inferiority, which an orphan child will struggle with if they don't fit into any tribes, but yet they have the freedom to follow their own path, but they have to learn how to do that more in the light than in the shadow, and that's part of the growth. Deconstructing doubt. I think this makes sense. Let me put it together for you in a little bit of a blessing with my pantheons of the divine. Let's see what flies out my mouth, shall we? Please take a nice deep breath. Say it through me. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, that they be fully blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, either as the orphan child, that they find their independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering the fear of surviving, and as the seeker, with their thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are, guiding the way here, getting to know each other, that love endures, that this is something that is a longer process that they are in, and work is certainly involved here. So for them both to deconstruct doubt with the understanding that only my beliefs are in my way, which can be a hard thing to do for them, because so often the emotions feel the way that they feel, that the thoughts and the beliefs that engender it seem unshakable. And yet, if they understand that there is great victory here, that they are at the end of a cycle graduating here, and to follow the highest vibrational card, symbol in the tarot, the star, the highest altitude, to follow their guidance, their grace, because they can move forward quickly and boldly with great passion to alchemize their fate into their destiny here, knowing that there will come some dissatisfaction and some changes on the inside to everyone here. But that victory is worth it, that it's a decision, if wisely made, then well made, so that they can heal, grow, and become the best that they can be, to become the true love that they already are, but for the obstacles to love's presence within all of us. So as they heal, may we all heal deeply, fully, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. You have it. I would say that's a classic Path of True Love read. Whew, tricky. Yeah. So, you want to go deeper into this? Just remember the archetypes. We can go into it and reach out to me. There's a video in the description box, booking a reading with Mal. We'll show you how to do that. It's a fun 13-minute vid. I think you'll dig it. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed on what could very well be a long-lasting thing here in its initial stages. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.